What is up, y'all? How is everybody? I am good. I just got in from work. Still a little hyper from the shift. We're here for our Oracle manifestation reading for the week, where we tune into our goals and our dreams and our wishes, and we see what we need to do to lean into our potential, how we need to overcome our shortcomings, things that we need to be aware of. So we just pull a few cards and get some advice for the week about how we should approach our goals. All right, if you haven't already, the energy oracle forecast was really good on Sunday night. That will give you a look ahead at the kind of energetic and spiritual weather for the week. The Monday post, or the Monday video that we do, is the anchor message where we get our spiritual assignments for the week. And then here we are on Tuesday looking into how we can lean in and be the most powerful magnetic manifestors. All right. Ooh, okay. I felt one flip. Uh-oh. The artwork's kind of namesake photo, the flagship photo, Divine Magic. This is like the main card of the deck. I consider this the Magician card from the Major Arcana. Extra magical energy surrounds your situation right now, so expect miracles. So right off the bat, what I'm getting about this is practicing certainty. Certainty is related to the Hebrew word emunah. And I would say they're interchangeable. I think that emunah is the Hebrew word for certainty. And emunah is a level of faith that transcends logic. It doesn't deny logic. It accepts the logic, but it goes beyond it. What that would look like is, in a situation, if you're like, oh, the circumstances look bleak, or it's all for naught, or it looks like it's not going to work out. And you can see that by all scientific standards, by common belief, it does look on the surface that things are not perfect. And you're acknowledging that. You're not turning away. You're not in denial. You're not putting your head in the sand. You're seeing what's at stake. You're seeing the risk. You're seeing the precariousness of it all. And yet, even looking straight at that, you can still maintain the certainty that the Creator is in control, that the light is omnipresent within all things. And even a terrible situation, once you have absolutely awakened and become present and consciously chosen certainty. You can even be afraid and be like, you know what? I know that I feel doubt right now, but I choose certainty. I choose it. I'm going to decide to turn my attention and turn my thoughts around. And even if I have to take every fearful thought and say, you know what? No, Holy Spirit, let me see this differently. And you have to training wheel yourself every thought of the way. It still counts. So you choose certainty. You choose to know that the Creator has a plan and that the Creator is in control. And many times the situation is only playing out to remind you to have that awareness that Creator is in control. And it's like the moment that you realize that you see through the illusion, that you're like, oh, energetically, I can shift the situation. If I believe, if I'm relaxed, if I'm certain and solid, then that helps me ease into that cosmic flow of harmony. Right? And that is, when we break down the laws of attraction, it's like when you feel like you are in fear and scarcity, it's like it locks up the situation. It makes everything tense. And when you are in that state of faith and certainty, it's like you're relaxed and you can surrender and you can vibrationally, it really opens you up and it demonstrates such confidence in the universe, but it really does give you this very fine-tuned resonance and pitch. And so when you are putting your your manifestation out there, and you're putting that out into the universe, like your thoughts, your clarity around your ideas and your ability to communicate that puts the signal out. But what makes you magnetic to draw it in is your feeling. It's in your heart. It's in your emotions around the situation and around your thoughts, right? It's all making this electromagnetic frequency around you. So practice being in that certainty and observe, when you get in a state of flusteredness, when you're triggered, like really look at that and face it fully, and then choose to practice that certainty. Choose to work on letting it go and being at peace and cultivating that peace. And the more you do that and the more you declare it, and oh my gosh, declare your appreciation, declare your gratitude out loud. Those are very powerful, powerful tools. They are very powerful vibrationally to shift into appreciation. Let's see. And what else? I had another thought. We've also been, this was the other thing, using prayer. That's been a practice that we've been really leaning into and expanding upon this year on our channel. And so the most powerful way to pray is to pray out loud. Use the power of your voice, of your of the tongue, right? It can be speak life or death. It's the first physical manifestation that you can create from your thoughts, from your seed consciousness level. And that's another thing too, is that whatever you're doing, whatever you're putting your hand to, whatever you're creating with, whatever action you take to start this manifestation, or an action that you take to chip away at a step in the process, make sure you're in the right consciousness when you do that. Make sure you're in a high vibrational state of joy, of love, of appreciation, of peace, of serenity, at least neutrality. Because everything that you put your hand to has the seed level of your consciousness in it at the time that you were doing it. So you want to plant seeds of great expectations. And what really unlocks the miracle is when we expect good things to happen. And that's usually the hardest part. That's usually what we're trying to retrain our consciousness or our subconscious to expect. Because it's the subconscious limiting beliefs and fears that usually are kind of blocking things from behind the scenes that we don't even see. And so one of the things that was going to be helping us this week was that our triggers, if we felt hostile, or if we felt, the ego, tripping up our emotions, it's actually an opportunity, because those emotions, those triggered feelings are showing us what's still lingering under the surface and what is driving our motivations, right? That we don't even realize, that's stealing our ability to be in sovereignty and choosing with our free will. Okay. So keep in a state of positive expectancy and maintain that. And the more stable and consistent you are in your vibration, the more powerful that you are. I think I see my favorite card. A new dawn. I love this one. The worst is behind you and positive new experiences are on the horizon. So this year has been definitely tumultuous. There was so much emotional unpacking in the first couple of months. And then during the spring, during eclipse season, there were huge overhauls and tower moments happening that were sort of like breaking down all the structures that we'd been leaning on that were still not in alignment with the new self going forward. And so even after all that settled down, it's like the effects of it are still kind of like lingering, right? And they're finally starting to dissipate. And so even through the beginning of summer, even as things started to sort of like turn on and it felt like the year was finally starting to get going, it's like here we are just when we're starting to feel good again. and the emotion starts to burn off, we kind of have a reboot back into emotional, self-searching and exploring. That was very not articulate the way I just said that. But yeah, so like that Cancer moon got us into the emotions again, and, bringing up all of those subconscious patterns so that we can see them now from like a higher perspective and witness them and observe them and start to recognize them in a way that's really sober and grounded, where you can be like, oh, wow, I see that happening now. And the more that we recognize it, the less power it has over us. So I think that the dust is finally beginning to settle. And so even if it's not apparent yet, and it feels like we're like, can we ever relax? Is it ever going to get good? Are things ever going to be okay? I think that like the worst really is behind us. This card keeps coming up every few weeks. And I think it's because we've been in this sort of like every few weeks, there's like this new initiation moment. And it's a little bit scary and it's a little bit difficult every time. And I think that this is just the universe trying to have our back, going, okay, like don't fall into despair. Hold on to your faith. These little tests, these little moments of initiation, they're not throwing you into a downward spiral again. So maintain your foundation. Stay on top of your emotional maintenance so that you don't crack the foundation that you've built so far, rebuilding yourself, healing the heart. So yes, we want to keep the healing work up, but keep our positive expectancy, right? Don't let fear and anxiety take you down. Don't let insecurities take you down. Don't let hostility or anger or disappointments take you down. Really accept what's coming at you right now. Keep doing your due diligence to maintain, your efforts. We are, constantly teetering back and forth between creation phase 2 and 3 this year. It's like pushing through that lull and being in the middle of the journey with no end in sight. And you're so far from the beginning, there's no turning back. It's like, this is where we have to have that endurance, where even if we don't see signs of life or road signs telling us where to go, or are we still on the right track? It's just we're kind of out there in the wilderness. This is it. This is Act 2, people. This is the slog. And so I think we just keep getting this card going don't worry, you're not backsliding, you're not off course, you're not wrong. The initiations are not life pushing you down again. These are just these brief moments where we keep pushing through, we keep meeting these patterns again so that we can overcome them and do something different this time. And then as we keep going, things are going to get lighter and lighter and lighter. The healing process doesn't last forever. It does. We're always doing this work. But the major bulk of it that really affects us the most, it's not going to hold us up forever. And so that pain, those challenges, the more that we do that healing work and the more that we sit with it, the lighter we're going to get, right? And the healing is going to come and everything's going to feel good and healthy and thriving, right? It's just, it seems like when you're in it, it will never be good again. But I think that we really are taking a turn. Contemplation time also came up with a new dawn. Spend time alone meditating upon what you truly desire. So yeah, there's this urge and desire to always want to get out and go and make it happen. But many times what's the most productive thing to do first is prime ourselves on the conscious level, on the level of the heart, right? So we have the right seed level that we're building with. So now is the time to lean in, do the healing work, do the preparation work, heal those parts of yourself that don't feel worthy of your dreams. Heal the parts of yourself that are afraid of being inadequate and not being able to, maintain the dreams once you get them. Heal the parts of yourself that are afraid of success, because so many of us don't even realize that we get addicted to the status quo or to crisis because that's what we're used to. We're not used to things going well. We're not used to things being comfortable, or breaking through our financial threshold, right? Like some of us haven't made more money than we have because we've never experienced that for ourselves. And so our subconscious it's not open to it. It's not part of your awareness. And so we need to get our mindset and our energy right. And we need to make sure that we have a sense of worthiness, right? And a sense of deservingness, because if that's not there and we're still suffering from overwhelming, subconscious fears of inadequacy or fear of success, fear that if we do have success that it's going to take over and we're going to be smothered and suffocated by it. It's going to take over our whole life and we're not going to have the freedom or whatever it is. There's always the adversary is always using whatever it can to limit you, to keep you small. So that's why you want to prime yourself on an emotional level first, on an energetic level first, so that you can receive what you are calling in. But yeah, this is related to, there's a card in the romance oracle deck that says clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. And this is kind of what that is like. I feel like it's a combination of the 4 of swords, of healing and taking time out, but it's also of getting clarity about what it is that you want and not being apologetic about it at all. Not feeling undeserving of it, but feeling completely deserving of it, being unapologetic, and like King David, praying with gusto and demanding that you are, crying out, with your whole heart and demanding what you want from God. And he can always tell us no, right? But we can show that we have grit and we have moxie and we have determination and we have a lot of nerve, right? And we can state what we want, and we can share our desire with our full passion and honesty with Creator, whatever it may be. And we can say, if this isn't for me, then do what you need to stop me. But I'm going to try so hard to make this happen, and I'm going to devote myself to this, and I'm going to be committed to it. I'm going to follow through because this is my true heart's desire, and I'm going to do my part to manifest this. And when you really demonstrate your wholehearted, determination and commitment to the universe, that's when it starts really, giving you that support, and that cosmic current takes over. But it's not gonna. You're still gonna be tested. The universe is always gonna see if you're really mean what you say. Are you really determined, or are you gonna throw in the towel if the difficulties come along? Okay, let's get one last card. Music for manifesting. I love this. This comes up a lot for us. To manifest rapidly, think of your desire while you chant, hum, sing, or play music. I love getting a good playlist on when I go for walks, when I go for runs. That's really when I am doing that visualization of my dreams and my goals. Get music going that gets you in the mood of what you're wanting to call in. The thing that stokes the feelings that you're trying to create. That's what the music that you want to listen to. If you are, wanting to attract opulence and success and riches, for me, I love to listen to rap and disco, because those are genres of music that are upbeat. They are, if not confident and braggartly, and they're talking about how fabulous everything is all the time, and how, everybody's so rich and all of this stuff. And it's not we're not being one-dimensional. We're not completely glorifying materialism here. But if you want to get in the mood to like manifest like abundance, then you want to feel confident, and you want to feel a little cocky, and you want to feel a little sure of yourself, and you want to like, speak appreciation about all the things that you're grateful for, right? So that's a good mood to get in. It's much better than getting in, emo mode, right? That's not going to be very attractive to what you want to call in, unless you're wanting to call in someone emo, and then you want to get like moody together, then you'll attract that. If you're wanting to attract in, say, romance or love, then listen to songs that get you and all your feels, and have lyrics that describe the kind of love that you want to have an exchange with. If you want to have a healthy relationship, you probably don't want to listen to a lot of Taylor Swift albums. Sings about like narcissistic, codependent relationships. I mean, they're very catchy pop songs, and very well produced, but I have to catch myself, because her song stories are the last thing that I want to manifest for myself ever. So yeah, use music for manifesting. Definitely pay attention to what you're listening to, because when you get into that high state, it's like when you're in that state of like feeling good, and you're just like, yeah, whatever. It's like usually when you're in that mode that you can say something like half-heartedly, and that's gonna manifest a lot easier than if you're like, oh, it's just gotta happen for me. I just need it to happen so much. Or like, I'm afraid it's not gonna happen. I'm neurotic, and I'm anxious, and I'm angsty, and Or like if you're like, oh, I just don't know what to do with myself, and you're like, talking to everyone about like, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Like, you're spinning your wheels. You're dissipating all of your energy, and you're not focused, and you don't clearly know what you want, right? So start with you, right? Contemplate. Pull your energy in. Pull your listening ears in. Pull your counsel in with your higher self, with your higher power, with your angelic help first. Get clear, get clean in your vibration, and in your thoughts, and in your desire, and let your compass, your inner, navigation system, let it recalibrate, right? That's what my goal has been the last couple of years. And I think that I did that, it happened very quickly. After my breakup, it was like, I wanted to be on my own, and like detach myself from other people's opinions about what I should be doing, and opinions about how I was doing what I was doing, or what, because I wanted to recalibrate and be guided by my internal guidance system, and not influenced by other people's opinions, because everyone around you has an opinion about what you're doing. Your friends, your family, your acquaintances, they're all going to have a say, and they're all going to be throwing in their 2 cents, and their 2 cents is going to be coming filtered through all of their limiting beliefs, all of their subconscious patterns, all of their unhealed baggage, and all of their agendas and opinions, and all of their insecurities. And like, maybe you threaten them, or maybe you don't, or maybe they wish that they could, so it's like, you never know when you're talking to all these people, like, who really has like a sound perspective, who gives honest feedback, like, or even if they think that it's honest, like, it's not going to be pure of like their filter, their hermeneutic lens. And so you have to take everything with a grain of salt, and ask yourself, okay, that's why in Kabbalah, I mean, it suggests that you pick, there's like this verse that I always read after my prayers, but it says, make for yourself a spiritual teacher, and acquire for yourself a friend. Or it says, make for yourself a friend and acquire, I think it says, acquire for yourself a friend and make for yourself a spiritual teacher. And so basically what that means is the close counsel that you keep around you, be very choosy about that. And you need to find at least one spiritual friend that has your same mindset, that has your same beliefs, that you can be buddies together, that you can be spiritual, like support system, and like sponsors, or like accountability buddies. People who can give you counsel and insight that matches your value system and the way that you perceive in your consciousness. So yeah, you want to be really wise and discerning about who that is. And then make for yourself a teacher, or acquire for yourself a teacher. It's like, and then also find someone who is a good teacher, who you really resonate with, who is giving you things that are growing you in such a way that you feel are in alignment with your path. And so find that teacher, but make sure it's someone trustworthy, because not all teachers are created equal. There are some teachers that are also not trustworthy people to listen to either. So you have to use that discernment. And so you find yourself a teacher, and you stick with that teacher for, sometimes it takes discernment. Sometimes you don't stick with a teacher forever. Sometimes it's for a season, right? But have a mentor or someone that can teach you in a way that is consistent, that's uniform, that can help you stick with something and master it, rather than be like a jack of all trades with no uniformity, right? Someone to mentor and shape you down a path of a discipline that's consistent, that's uniform. Like I have my Kabbalah teachers. I have my main teacher that I feel like I always resonate with the most. And then I have a couple of other teachers that I like to take their classes too. But my one teacher, it's like, that's who I consider my Kabbalah teacher, because he always seems to have randomly the right pieces of wisdom, the right examples, the right ways of explaining things that are like really in alignment with like my vibe, my mindset, like what my point of focus is, all of those things. So yeah, and it's going to be different for everybody, but you'll recognize that teacher, right? But it's you've got to be discerning about that too, because that's where you get in the danger of the guru, or the person that's like the cult leader who has too much influence and wants to have power over people. A trustworthy teacher is trying to liberate, is trying to raise you up, is trying to give you wisdom so that you can take that and have autonomy with it, not so that you rely on the teacher. That's the difference between creator consciousness and destroyer consciousness. Destroyer consciousness needs people to need them for their service, right? They don't want you to heal, because then you don't need to book another appointment, right? That could be like, for instance, like a psychiatrist. Is the psychiatrist, this particular psychiatrist, wanting to heal their patients so that the patients don't need them anymore and they're confident they can find more patients? Or do they want to keep their patients in this ongoing need where they have, these patients coming back for years on end and making maybe slow progress, but not real breakthroughs that liberate the patient? So what's the it's like the creator consciousness would want to heal the patient so that the patient doesn't need any therapy anymore, right? Whereas that same person, that doctor from a destroyer consciousness would want that that patient to always need them a little bit. A plumber, right? Creator consciousness. I want to be a great plumber and give people peace of mind, and I want my plumbing to last a lifetime. And there are plenty of new builds going up all the time, and remodels and renovations. A destroyer consciousness plumber is someone who's thinking, well, I hope that someone's pipes burst now that it's frozen. I'll have plenty of work. That's destroyer consciousness. So think about that. Keep an eye out on your consciousness, and keep, that in mind when you are choosing who to take counsel from and who your teacher would be. All right, you guys. And that includes me too. In my readings with my one-on-one clients, like I am happy to see people as much as they want to, but I wouldn't really recommend more than a quarterly reading, to be quite honest. And then ultimately, I want people to get in touch with their intuition. But also, it's great to be able to have someone that you can confide in, that you feel has common values, or that has a big picture, and a not like an unobjective big picture view of the situation. So that's always good to have. But yeah, ultimately, I hope that people find healing, and that they don't feel like they have to sit with me, but that it is like something that is enhancing for them too. All right, you guys. Well, I hope that you have a good rest of your week. I hope that you have great ideas about how to propel your dreams along. I hope you have the motivation and the focus and the discipline to take small action steps consistently. And I hope that we are building good, solid foundations to construct steady structures upon. All right, y'all. I will see you tomorrow for our alchemy message, where we go deeper into the process within this week's lessons. All right. If you don't already, you can follow me on Liz_Taylor_Magick on Instagram. And I also have a channel page, Light Love Magic. I'm more active on Liz Taylor Magic. Magic with the CK. But yeah, I do posts Monday, Wednesday, Friday of our readings that we do on here. And then we talk about them in more detail in the video. But yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Like, subscribe, comment, share, help me grow the channel and get the messages out to other people who can heal and benefit from them as well. Bye.